Hi everyone, welcome back to another Prepping Friday. For today's episode, we are making one of my favorite soups, which is albondigas, and it is super simple to make, so let's get started. I'm gonna add half a cup of rice and I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I'm not gonna cook it thoroughly. I just want it to be semi-cooked, kind of like pre-cooked. And that way I can add it into the meat. You can do the rice without being cooked, but I like to do it this way. For me, it's better if I pre-cook the rice. This is only half a cup of rice with a little bit of water. You don't even have to measure the water because all you want is to make the rice a little bit softer, probably like 10 minutes. While this is cooking, I'm gonna start cutting my veggies. The rice, it's semi-cooked already. It's pre-cooked, it's not cooked thoroughly. So I'm gonna turn it off and let it cool for a while, so that way we can add it into the ground beef. But we wanna make sure that the rice is cold and it's not hot, otherwise the meat is gonna start pre-cooking. You don't want that. So we're gonna cool this one down. Let's get our albondigas ready and seasoned the meat so we can make our albondigas. I'm using 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I'm gonna add cumin, pepper, garlic salt, and cayenne pepper. I'm using 1 tablespoon of the pepper, cumin, and the cayenne pepper, and 2 tablespoons of the garlic salt. I really love the taste of the garlic salt, and plus it has herbs already. So I'm gonna add all of this into the ground meat, and I'm gonna add 2 eggs, and then we're gonna add our pre-cooked rice. I put it in this place so it could get colder faster. And now it's just time to mix. My hands are clean. If you don't like this process, you can use gloves. I think that this is like science, and I kind of like this process. But if you don't like how it feels on your hands, then you can use gloves. But it's better to do it with your hands because then you can combine all the ingredients together. You can also substitute the rice for breadcrumbs or even flour. Now, once we have all of this combined, now it is time to make our little albondigas. Okay, now we're gonna make our sauce, which is my favorite part. I mean, the entire dish, it's like one of my favorite dishes. In a pot, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I'm gonna start sauteing the onion and the garlic. I'm gonna add the tomatoes next, but I want the onion and the garlic to start sauteing to get a little bit soft. I'm gonna blend this just because my kids don't like onion or tomato, so I'm gonna make this into a sauce. You can do it on a regular blender, but I'm gonna use my hand blender. I'm gonna add the water now, and I'm gonna use about 6 cups of water. But since the tomato and the onion are still in whole, I'm just gonna add a little bit so that way it's easier for me to blend it. And then once all of this is blended, then I'll add the rest. Okay, now I'm gonna add the rest of the water. And we're gonna let it boil. Then we're gonna start adding the albondigas. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of the chicken bullion. This one, the caldo de pollo. And then let's wait until this boils. And then once we're done with this, we're gonna add the albondigas. Okay, our consomme is already boiling. I'm gonna lower the heat, and then we're gonna start adding our albondigas. Okay, we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes before we add in our vegetables. And depending on how big you cut your vegetables, that's the time you're gonna add them, because if you cut them really small, they're gonna, and depending what veggies as well, because I'm using potatoes and zucchini. Those are really soft, so I don't want them to be super soft. I like them to be a little bit more hard. And if you're making this for like a prep meal for like the week, I don't like to cook my veggies too much, because I know I'm gonna put my dish into the microwave and it's going to overcook. So I'm gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna add in our veggies. Okay, the 5 minutes have passed already. It's boiling, so I'm gonna lower the heat again. We're gonna add our veggies. I'm gonna switch for a wooden spoon. And I'm adding the chayote, the celery, the zucchini, and the potatoes. I like to cut my veggies small, not too big. And that's why I was saying that depending on how big your vegetables are and what type of vegetables, because if you use carrots, and depending how big or small you cut them, they take a little bit longer to cook. But since all of these veggies are going to cook around the same time, I put them all together. So I'm going to let it boil, and then we're gonna taste it, since we've already put the chicken bouillon, but we want to make sure that we have it fully seasoned. And plus I'm Mexican, so I always thought that you add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I am trying really hard to use measurements. And I don't like my food super salty. Sometimes I do like to keep my food a little bit less salty, and then my kids or my husband will add the salt afterwards. So I'm gonna let this boil one more time, and then we're gonna come back and taste it. It's about 10 minutes already. Less than 10 minutes, around 8. It smells really good, super delicious. I'm gonna try the veggies, see if they are, yep, they're a little harder. But again, if you're gonna make these ones are really soft. If you're gonna make this for a meal prep for like the week, it's better to leave them a little bit harder and not, see, yep, perfect. I don't like the potatoes to be super smushy. So this is done. I'm gonna put it on a plate and show you guys how I garnish mine. To garnish mine, I love to add oregano and some chipotle and sauce. None of my family members love chipotle, so I am the only one that loves this one. That's why I always keep one extra. Another thing that I love to add is cilantro, but my kids don't like cilantro, so I cannot add those while I'm making the albondigas or the soup. And then some aguacate, a little bit of lemon. You can definitely add the cilantro and the oregano and the chipotle all when you're cooking it at the last minute. But again, I'm not adding that in the soup because none of my family members like it, and that's why I add it at the end. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you like this recipe, don't forget to tag me over on Instagram, and also subscribe if you're new to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.